guys, my name is Brandon from Gearist.com. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Diamond 890 Turbodown hooded jacket by Columbia. You know, coming into looking at this jacket, I was really convinced that I was going to be taking a look at a really high quality down jacket, and that's pretty much what I was expecting. But I really didn't know that what I was about to try on, and try out for that matter, was something that was really a step above. Now, right off the bat, I think one of the most important things to point out about this jacket, and one of the things that sets it aside, is Columbia's Turbodown insulation. Rather than just traditional kind of ripstop fabric filled with goose down or some other kind of down, this is actually a different kind of 3-level setup. While I talk about the Turbodown insulation, I'll put up a little bit of an illustration right here which may help explain it a little bit better. As we go toward the inside of the jacket, underneath this shiny surface here, the first layer that you have inside that, which you can see in the illustration right here, is Columbia's synthetic Omni-Heat insulation. This is a synthetic kind of like fabric material that's really going to begin to cause that warming effect, that heating effect. Omni-Heat insulation itself, in this case, has 40-gram loft, which combined with the 850 goose down fill that is on the other side of that, also which you can see here in this diagram, gives this jacket its name, that 890. So it's a combined 890-gram fill, or 890-gram loft. Now, in every single case, that's going to be a ton of loft itself. That's going to be super, super warm. But Columbia has gone a step further. Now, we see this silvery kind of shiny stuff right here that looks really cool and kind of reminiscent of the Wizard of Oz. But what this is doing is this is a tightly compacted little pattern of silver dots. And what this does is that when heat is expelled from the body, when you lose heat, it reflects that heat back to your body. Additionally, this means that the heating up process of this jacket is amazing. We're going to get into that in a little bit. Now let's talk a little bit more about the other features of this jacket. First of all, you'll see that the baffles, that's these channels where the insulation lies, they are graduated, which is to say they're wider up here at the top, and then as you get down toward the bottom, they become a little bit more narrow. In addition to that insulation, this makes this jacket that much warmer and a more intelligent design. So not every place of your body has the same amount of heat, nor does it need to retain the same amount of heat in those areas. So this takes that into consideration. Now, this 850 filled goose down is actually also water resistant, which combined with the water resistant shell is going to make this thing really able to handle quite a bit of kind of precipitation. I'm not saying you're going to want to wear it in a downpour necessarily, but you could in a pinch. One of the things that I like the best about this jacket is its line. Now, when I say line, we know that down jackets a lot of the time can be overly puffed sometimes. And this isn't. I mean, it's really nicely filled. The jacket pocket's sticking out now just then. But it's really nicely filled and the line is very nice, which means two things. One, it looks good. Now, the second thing is that it fits well under a shell or something like that, allowing it to be kind of a mid-layer insulation layer that's in there. This jacket has a total of 3 pockets, the first of which is right here. Instead of being an exterior breast pocket, it's right here on the inside. Nice and generous, more than enough room. I mean, it goes all the way down to here. More than enough room for a phone, even one like a phablet, you know, a tablet phone phablet thing. Tons of room in there to keep even very large things. It also has 2 additional hand pockets right here, right where you'd expect them to be, the left of which is actually also a stuff sack for the jacket, so it stuffs into itself to compact down for space. Now, all 3 of these pockets also have the Omni-Heat reflective material, which again is going to, for instance, if you put a cell phone or something in your breast pocket, what kind of stinks about that sometimes in some jackets is that the phone will get cold if you're out in really, really cold temperatures. Now, the downside of that is that it's going to kill the battery. In this case, this is going to keep that bad boy warm, both with your body heat and the warmth of the device itself. To top it all off, this jacket has a great hood. There is no drawstring for this hood, but it fits really well and there's a stretch to it, so it is very elasticized. I don't think that this is helmet compatible. If you're choosing to ski with this, it's going to be something that you're going to want to either wear under a helmet if needs be, or it's just going to kind of hang back. There's not quite enough room. But this is more of like a trekking piece, a snowshoeing piece, and something like that. But that said, I have worn this skiing and it does really, really well. The most amazing thing to me about this jacket, bar none, is how quickly it warms up. Now, on several nights here in Colorado over this winter, I deliberately left this jacket outdoors. Now, it sat outside, it was down to as low as 20 below, 15 below in a lot of cases. Regardless, it was down in this particular stretch to at least 0 every single night. Now, the reason that I did this was to see how quickly the jacket would warm up, because again, it's not just the down, it's not just the Omni-Heat kind of insulation in there, but it's those reflective dots combined with all those things. How quickly is this going to be able to go from being outside when it's 10 degrees or 5 degrees or 0 degrees to keeping me warm? And the astounding thing, and I'm not exaggerating when I say this, is that I put the jacket on and inside of 15 seconds, dead serious, 15 seconds from being below zero to 15 seconds, I was really producing heat. I no longer felt like the jacket had been sitting outside. It wasn't cold or anything like that. It was really, really astounding. And it really just enhances the heating properties of this jacket. As I mentioned earlier, when you combine that with the fact that this is water-resistant shell, water-resistant down, even if you're overnight camping somewhere or something like that and this gets a little bit of condensation on it, it's going to be able to keep you warm immediately. From a fit perspective, as I mentioned earlier, the line is really, really great and it fits well under a lot of shells. Another thing about the fit that I really enjoy that I didn't mention earlier when talking about the hood is how light this hood sits on your head. I mean, it just it's there. It doesn't feel like this really heavy hood that's dragging you down. It's really very, very generously light. Love it. This year we've seen a few things that have really moved the bar, that have set the bar to new height, and I feel like this is one of them in terms of warmth. This jacket's ability to warm up from cold is outstanding. Nothing really comes close as far as I'm concerned that's not electronic. It's a really great warming layer. It's going to keep you safe and warm no matter what you're doing. I've worn this. Actually, I camped out one night. It was -6 and I was in a 0-degree sleeping bag, so it was a little chilly. Wore this. Totally fine. It was really amazing to be inside of. Now, this jacket originally retailed for $325, but we have found it for $220 and less, and you can actually see that link if you click down below in the description. We've got a link to find it for about $220 or less, even less depending on when this is recorded and when you see that link. So definitely be sure to check it out. Thank you guys so much for helping to support Gearist by shopping at those buy links that we've got down below, or just going to gearist.com/Amazon, which you can check out right here. As always, if you've got any questions about this review or any of our reviews, don't hesitate to either email them to us at info@gearist.com, reach out to us on all of our social media outlets, which you can see right here, or just leave a comment down in the comments section below. Don't forget our Gearist podcast, which you can find on Stitcher, iTunes, or just by going to gearist.com. And also, do not forget, Ask Gearist. We've got a lot of stuff coming. So guys, thank you so much for spending a few minutes with us today, and we'll see you next time.